Hi everybody, my concept is called GoSafely, and my tagline is Street Smarts and Book Smarts because it uses data, and so that's where the Street Smarts comes in. I mean Book Smarts, and then it gives you the Street Smarts because based on that data. The problems that my concept is trying to address are that there isn't a quick and easy way to see how safe areas are based on actual data on crimes and traffic incidents. One has to go to different resources to get the information, and it's time consuming and it becomes annoying. There also isn't a way to get routes and navigation that will guide you from areas that are based on data not as safe as other areas. So this will guide you in a way that won't take you much longer but might be safer. This is going to be most useful for pedestrians and people in open vehicles like scooters and motorcycles. Another thing this will do is it'll give you infrastructure information about the different areas, such as the presence or lack of sidewalks, crosswalks, those kinds of things. In my initial research, I learned during interviews that people have to go to different places to get information. And there's Trulia, which has limited information on certain crimes. And there's a lack of respect for traffic laws. And Ken had to have his wife speak with the police chief, and when they were trying to buy a property to get information. And if you're walking or sightseeing, you would want to use it, basically avoiding areas that might not be as safe based on the data that's available. This survey was taken, not initially, I was well into the project, but from this sample, you can see only a tiny percentage doesn't walk, but the vast majority walk, and actually almost half walk more than 12 times in a 7-day time period. This is how concerned people are, whether for themselves or for someone that they care about. 53 1/3% care about or think about this kind of stuff at least once a week, and 71.11% think about it at least once a month. And this basically asks if you had this solution in real life, would you be more likely to walk, bike, or use an open vehicle? And if you see more than 2/3 of the respondents of this sample said they would be more likely to do so. This shows the evolution of the concept all the way from concept sketch to low fidelity, and then these two are mid fidelity. This is a screen that gives you infrastructure information about an area and the rating for the area in the general sense, and the rating that applies to people who are in an open vehicle. And then this is the high fidelity. Basically, you can swipe through the information, or if you touch that box, it'll give you all the information at once if you don't want to have to swipe through it. Just like people have attributes, we come up with attributes for brands. So that's what brand attributes are, basically traits and characteristics. So the way I did it is I listed a bunch of adjectives, and then I ranked them based on what I wanted my brand to be, and I basically eliminated them over. So first I had all of this, then I got down to here, then here, then here, and then all the way down here is the final list. Dependable, knowledgeable, valuable, conscientious, and ethical. For the color scheme, I basically took inspiration from Waze, which is a navigation app, and Facebook, and they both use a lot of blue. It's sort of like a professional and neutral color. For the typeface, typeface is a more technical, it's a more proper term for font. For the typeface, I basically did something similar to what I did for brand attributes. I went through a bunch of different typefaces and I selected Futura. And then designers use user personas to sort of help them remember their user. And this is my user persona. She's a UM student and she basically needs this kind of stuff for walking and public transit. So now I'll show you my prototype in action. So it would load and then it would basically, you would sign in using your Touch ID. And then as soon as you sign on, it asks you to give infrastructure info for where you're located. And if you say okay, then you can go through here and you can basically input what you know is there, and it'll give you options like I don't know and not necessary. If that's appropriate, you can select that. So then let's say that Belle wants to meet up with friends at a restaurant, so she's going to search for the address of that restaurant, and then she's going to check out that area to see what it's like. So she'll swipe through and look at information, and then you can do that to see all of the information at once. And then she gets out of here and she wants to get routes to that restaurant from where she is. And she's going to travel by bike, and then the app shows her a route that tries to take her away from these areas which are the most unsafe, even though she does have to go through an area that's so I didn't cover this. The color on the left in each square is the rating for the general safeness. The color on the right is for pedestrians and bikers. So the more red it is, the more unsafe, and the more green, the safer. So basically she'll go through that, and if she ever falls down, she'll have SOS, which will it'll inform law enforcement and her emergency contacts. So that's it.